2021 Board of Public Works and Safety meeting. Roll call, please. Here.
Here. Here.
Okay. Are there any conflict of interest statements?
No, sir.
Start that, Kevin. Approval of the minutes of the meeting of December 2nd, 2021.
Make a motion to defer those minutes.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. There are no bid openings. Matters from department heads or their representatives. Mr. Gordish?
Yes. Good morning. Today I just received from Dan Repay Locale that they are going to perform a cleaning on Kennedy Avenue tomorrow. Should take about a half day. They contacted the police in order. So that's all I have. I just wanted to make a reference to it.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Anything else from department heads or their representatives? No? Okay. Moving into correspondence, item A. Correspondence received from Mr. Dean Button, city engineer, requesting $264,000 of CIB funding be allocated for professional engineering services for the Hessville drainage improvements, Phase 1, designed with Christopher Burke Engineering and corresponding contract. Mr. Gordon.
So basically, A and B are with the same company, and one is for a Army Corps project that we are submitted on to improve the drainage, and the first one was the study itself, taking into consideration the whole Hessville area and the one segment of pipe on Kentucky Avenue. So it's going to analyze that situation with the amount of water. So I would recommend approval of this, both of them, A, B. They kind of go hand in hand.
Well, item A, I just want for the record,
sure.
It's been signed off on by the city controller as well as the mayor as well as Mr. Button. So that's A.
Okay, we'll do it separately then?
Yeah, let's do them separately.
Okay, then I will make a motion to approve Mr. Button's request.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And you stated that B is similarly the same?
It's the same area. One's for a design for the Army Corps. The other one was for the study itself.
Okay. And for the record, once again, the controller has signed off on the request. The mayor has as well, and so has Dean Button. Okay.
Okay, then I will make a motion to approve Mr. Button's request.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Item C, correspondence received from Mr. Dean Button, city engineer, requesting $104,000 of CIB funding be allocated for professional engineering services for the redesign Holman Avenue North approach at Sibley with First Group Engineering and corresponding contract.
Yes, this is basically redesigning the right turn so it flows better at the traffic signal.
Yeah, so just a little additional info on this because I've been working with Mr. Gordish and Mr. Button on it. This is the, so it's heading southbound down the bridge at Hammond and Sibley. Because of the redesign that we're going to talk about in a second on another item, as you know, it's going to be only one way in each direction on Hammond between Sibley and Russell. So the idea is, through the Jeff Spec plan and talking through this, is that if folks don't want to come through downtown because it's going to be a lot slower and it's going to be walkable, that we want to give them an option to get to state line to get around. And that would include truck traffic, by the way. So what this does is it's actually a redesign of the right turn lane westbound so that it's going to be almost like a, I don't want to call it like a merge lane, but a pretty quick right turn lane to get onto Sibley. Because, you know, even now, as you guys know, the traffic backs up during rush hour up the bridge. And this is going to really allow that right turn westbound to move quickly.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Good.
Yes.
Okay, I will make a motion then to approve Mr. Button's request.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Item D, correspondence received from Mr. Dean Button, city engineer, requesting $16,440 of CIB funding be allocated to install 2 solar-powered speed measuring signs to be permanently installed on 173rd Street near Purdue Northwest.
Basically, what this is a speed limit digital sign that shows the speed. Hopefully, it's going to calm the area down since we rebuilt it. It seems like we've been getting reports, people are going quick. So this may instantaneously show their speed and they'll slow down. We're hopeful. So I would recommend approval.
Okay, for the record, it's been signed off on by the city controller, the mayor, as well as the city engineer and Dean Button.
Okay, then I will make a motion to approve Mr. Button's request.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item E, correspondence received from Structure Point, Inc., recommending the bid for the Holman Avenue roadway reconstruction and Rimbach Street realignment be awarded to the lowest responsive and responsible bidder, Reith Riley, in the amount of $6,285,910.19.
Yes, Mr. President, I spoke with Mr. Button, and of course, Mr. Gordish is here on behalf of the engineering department. Just so the board is comfortable in awarding this, funding for this is $5 million is from the ARP funds pursuant to the council's plan, and approximately 800 and some thousand is going to be from the water department because their 11-inch line that needs to be, I guess, realigned.
Yes.
Is also part of the project, and there's going to be an intergovernmental agreement. I spoke with Ms. Levinson yesterday, and they are going to be signing their portion of it today at the water board meeting. It'll be in front of the board next meeting, whereby, as the board's aware, what will happen is you'll approve the invoices, they'll go to water for reimbursement, and that's about $800,000 of the project. The remaining $400,000 is unfunded at this point, but the hope, through my discussions with Mr. Button and the mayor, is that it'll either be a combination of CIB or gaming money. And we would recommend the award.
Okay.
Okay, then I will make, no, I'm good, you good? Okay, I will make a motion to approve Structure Point's recommendation to award the bid to Ruth Riley. Yeah.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Ruth?
I'm sorry,
It's all right.
Reith Riley.
Reith Riley.
I said I was going to change it,
That
but
was kind of rankled though.
did it rankle you?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Item F, correspondence received from Dean Button requesting the approval for the temporary construction workspace easement number 45244-035TE NIPSCO for the purpose of constructing facilities from the West Lake extension submitted for approval.
What this is basically just an easement to access their facilities across our property down by the Little Cal off of Lyman. So they're just crossing over it.
This is similar to the other ones we've had before in the past, and we'll keep getting these as work continues to progress on the Westlake project.
Okay.
Good.
Okay, I will make a motion then to approve Mr. Button's request.
I second.
Thank you.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item G. Boy. A lot of reading. Request for advertising dates of December 23rd, 2021 and December 30th, 2021 with a bid opening date of January 13, 2022 for the demolition of properties located at 7508 Birch Avenue, 5903 through 07 Calumet Avenue, multi-unit structure, 712 Cherry Street, front only, 531 Florence Street, front and shed, 5125 through 27 Holman Avenue, commercial structure, 828 Indiana Street, 1158 Indiana Street, 1307 Indiana Street, 2314 Indianapolis Boulevard, 2021 Lake Avenue, 1630 through 34 Roberts Avenue, 120 Sibley Street, commercial structure, 5235 State Line Avenue, 4240 Wabash Avenue, rear structure only, 1219 150th Street, front and garage, to be bid separately.
Mr. President, these are all properties that have been before the board on demolition orders, except for the Calumet Avenue, 590307, which you can basically see out the window. Those are properties that is a property that's owned by redevelopments at the corner of Eaton and, is that Eaton both ways, Jeff, at the light?
Yes.
Not Drackard, so Eaton, all right, so Eaton and Calumet. And then also 120 Sibley is the small, used to be a fireworks stand next to the Mar Rim building. That's also owned by redevelopment. Otherwise, these are all orders that you've affirmed. The last thing I'd want to mention is you can see the last address, 1219 150th. That's that property we've had in front of you multiple times. And I mentioned we're going to bid it out front and garage separately.
Correct. Okay, thank you.
Okay, then I will make a motion to approve the advertising dates and the bid opening date.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item H, correspondence received from Mr. Mylan Krasinski on behalf of the Knights of Columbus, number 1696, requesting street closures for the 1900 block of Atchison Avenue from Indianapolis Boulevard to 119th Street from Lincoln Avenue to the corporate boundary with the City of Whiting, and no parking on 119th Street and Atchison Avenue for the pierogi drop event to be held on Friday, December 31st, 2021 through Saturday, January 1st, 2022. Additionally, requesting 8 traffic control yellow horses to effectively close off the streets. Donnie, we've done this many times in the past, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
So do we need to forward to Public Works or no?
Yeah, I think we do because they're looking for stuff.
You're good? You already know about it and everything?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, then I'll make a motion to approve Mylan Krasinski's request and also to forward it to Public Works and EMA and Police Department.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Correspondence received from Kelly Kearney, Chief of Inspections, regarding property located at 142 Rimback.
Morning, Mr. President and Board.
Morning.
Basically, this is an outline of what happened on Sunday morning at 142 Rimback. The fire broke out about 2:30 in the morning. Fire on scene. Roof collapsed into the second, first floor, into the basement. In that case, everything was underneath. Fire, water couldn't get to it. So the request was to bring a demolition contractor out to pull some of the wall down so we can get a better angle into the fire. I called JM. They were out there within an hour and started to pull down what needed to be pulled down per direction of both fire and myself and get things under control. Stubborn fire. It had a couple spots that they were called, FD was called out several times that night also. The next morning, we brought JM back out to open up some of the walls and get some of the debris out of the way where they could actually get a hose on it. So they did get it under control. We also had STM Acton bring out some fencing so we could close it all off. So right now the building is secured. Insurance company has been notified. They've been out there. They asked for licensed contractors that would do the demolition. We provided that. I think their intent is to act pretty quickly. So I don't, we want to put this on the regular.
Yeah, I think the point of this was just to let you know that, as you know, or as the board knows, Mr. Kearney, as the enforcement authority, has the ability to act under the Unsafe Building Act on an emergency basis. I think he's done that. It hasn't been anything but, like, for example, getting JM out there at the request of FD was because the parapet wall needed to come down as they were fighting fire. So, and securing it, I think the fencing, same thing. I'd like to get the billing for that. We've talked about getting the billing so we can get to the insurance company. I also want to request Linda to send that letter to the owner and the insurance company. Kelly's got the contact information so that they can reserve that 15% of the policy so we make sure that our costs are covered. So, I think it's appropriate he acted during that emergency under the Unsafe Building Act provisions.
Were there active law officers still in there, right?
They were actually, Mr. Matthews was the last one in there. He's actually retiring and we're in the process of removing
Is there
files.
anything he's going to want to try and salvage if possible? Do you know?
There's nothing to salvage.
Nothing.
It's gone.
Okay.
Yeah. I do want to say that great communication and coordination with Dem Isaac, Don Kalina, Chief Turton, and several others that were out there that we worked a very well, very good team. As everyone needed more work or something removed, whatever. JM also, they did a great job. So it was a tough situation, not the best weather, but everyone acted very, very cordially, very professional. So,
Yeah, it was a very dangerous situation for all the firemen that were involved, and
indeed.
we have made an arrest in reference to that fire too, so that's
Excellent.
That's nice.
Excellent.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kearney. Item J, correspondence received from Lockmuller Group advising of a bridge inspection on Kennedy Avenue over IHB Railroad with partial lane restrictions on December 12th, 2021.
Good morning again.
Mr. Burrish.
This is what they're doing. The county's going to redo the bridge deck and so forth. So basically, it's almost like a sonar radar penetrating to check the bridge deck for any kind of imperfections. So they should take maybe 4 hours. So it's going to go rather quickly. The only thing is on the 12th, and maybe it's going to be that week because this company's coming from Colorado, and they're going to do multiple bridges throughout the county.
December 12th?
Well, it's going to be that week.
Oh, the week of. They're
The
not
week
doing it on
of.
Sunday.
I have not received
matter.
final,
Okay.
a firm date on this yet, because like I said, they're doing, this is a
Okay.
specialty, so I would recommend approval. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, now I'll make a motion to approve the Lockmuller Group's request.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Item 8, matters from board members. There is a couple items. First one being order to rescind findings in order of 513 Florence. Mr. Smith?
Yes, so we are working with the owner. Basically, this is property where there was a basement apartment. It was pulled out. We have a covenant that I just received from inspections that is signed, but it's not notarized. So Linda's going to work with the owner to get that signed and notarized. And as soon as we get that, we're going to record both it and the order to rescind. So I'd ask the board to approve the order to rescind, but that condition the recording of it upon receipt of the covenant.
Okay.
So request for approval conditioned upon
Okay.
a signed covenant.
Okay, then I will make a motion to approve the order to rescind upon, what did you say? The-
Sure, but that will hold on the recording of it until we receive the signed covenant.
Okay, I will make that motion.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. And secondly, one more item. This has been out there for a couple of months. Mr. Smith, you may want to join us on this. On Park Place between Waltham and Highland, that block had been requesting residential-only parking signs, as well as Hyslop, the street to the west. They wanted their driveways painted with yellow paint. Well, it's too cold to paint with yellow paint. The board talked about this morning prior to your arrival. We were going to suggest or recommend to Public Works that residential parking signs be temporarily put up on both streets from Highland to Waltham on a 90-day trial period. The councilman has been talking with Mr. Gleason over time as to what's taking so long, I guess. And so we were wanting, I guess, from a legal standpoint, on a temporary basis.
Yeah, I mean, the board can do this on a temporary basis again, and as you know, we're working on this ordinance, and it's kind of started to go through the process now. I actually talked to Councilman Rakos, who's probably going to sponsor it, to give the board the power to do this permanently with the council person involves permission, or not permission, just acknowledgement, and then you can take into the consideration the district councilman or at-large council person's just opinion on those before acting. I have no problem with this going on a temporary basis. The only thing I'm always concerned about on temporary signs that we follow up in a 60-day period to determine, because after 90 days, really, there's no power to keep them up permanently with the board. So we have to
Correct.
Currently, it's only with the council. So if you're going to do it on a temporary basis, that's fine. The only question I always have with residential-only parking is how do we enforce it? I don't know. That's up to the police. Is there stickers? Is there, something like that?
Right.
So if the board wants to do it, I would just ask the board secretary to make sure that this is put up on the agenda for, 75 days or something down the road, so that we can determine whether they're going to stay up permanently or we're going to bring them down, or there's going to be an ordinance floated, or by that time, maybe the board will have the power to do it themselves.
Okay, thank you.
My thought was to, if we're going to do 90 days, give them 30 days to get a sticker, because they have to come to the police department, or I could have community policing actually go out and give it that way, but they have to prove that they live at that address. So we wouldn't start enforcing it for 30 days.
That's fine. Maybe a flyer that goes into their door, everybody's
too.
door, that gives the instructions, come to the police department, show, what you need to show. That's probably the best way to do it.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Do we need to prove it?
Yeah, I think so.
High Slop, and what was the other street?
Park Place.
Park Place, yeah. Okay, then I'm going to make a motion to approve the temporary resident-only parking on High Slop and Park Place from Highland Street to Waltham Street.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Mr. President, could you get a follow-up status date on that for 75 days?
You want to do 75? You want to do something sooner?
No,
Whatever,
that's probably good,
75?
because that'll give us an idea what we're going to do, if we're going to
Okay.
continue it or not.
Okay.
After 75 days?
Yeah. So we'll look for status to be brought up.
You want to come up with you got a date? I'll look at something real quick. 2 months. Yeah, it'd be 60 days, right? So we want to go right at the beginning of March? March 3rd, maybe?
What is it today, December? So 60 days would be February 8th or 9th.
January, February, so the end, yeah, okay. Okay, we'll do February 17th, is that okay? Okay, then I want to set this over, or, have a status meeting in reference to these temporary signs and set it for February 17th, 2022.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, that is all we have, matters, unless Ms. Long, you got anything?
No, sir.
Perez?
No, sir.
All right, going into new business. Item A, order to rescind and release order to demolish regarding property located at 252-54 Douglas Street.
Mr. President, usually these go by very quickly, but I did on this occasion want to take a little bit of time for the board and show them some photos of before and after and talk a little bit about this project. I come up here on occasion and mention that, this is a great rehab and this is a good example of, what the inspections department and the building department is doing. And I think the point that I generally make goes pretty quickly, but in this instance, I wanted to point out a couple things. One, I know that both Mr. Kearney, Mr. Vale, Mr. Farrell, and the inspectors, are very diligent in trying to work with folks, work with owners, work with contractors to rehab places. The first order of business isn't like, let's knock it down, right? This is a property that was a 4 or 5 unit cut up. You can see actually the NIPSCO meters on there. This is now becoming a single family home with 5 bedrooms right near where the new train station is going to be downtown. It's literally about 4 doors down, 3 doors down. And so this is also property that wasn't easy to rehab. Mr. Kearney's been up here a couple times talking about the fact that there was issues with structural issues with the crawl space, with the basement, and they had to shore it up, I think, on multiple occasions. So it was a hard project. I think it also, you hear about, the population of Hammond went down a little bit. This is an example of why it goes down. Not because we're losing residents, but because we're gaining homeowners and maybe losing some bad tenants. This was a property that was in bad shape. It was a problem property, and so every once in a while, I just want to give kudos to our department heads and the folks that work there, because this is a really good success story, and we do get them not rarely, but we do get them pretty periodically now because of how good the housing market is in Hammond, and I just want to congratulate them and acknowledge that. So, and request that the order to rescind be approved.
Very nice.
Yeah,
Beginning and end, very nice.
beautiful house. Okay, then I will make a motion to approve the order to rescind and release for 252 and 254 Douglas Street.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item B, first extension of agreement to rehabilitate property located at 36 Locust Street.
Mr. President, this is a property, actually, just because it's in my neighborhood, I see the work being done on it, and it's a great project, so I would request, I know he's working on it, I know he's continuing to work on it, I would request the extension be approved as presented.
Okay.
Okay, I make a motion to approve the first extension for the property located at 36 Locust Street.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item C, right-of-way permits, 2 submitted by the engineering department.
We have reviewed those and recommend approval. And NIPSCO permits for the West Lake. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Make a motion to approve the right-of-way permits.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item D, billing received from Axis Architecture for Hammond Fire Station Number 2, submitted for approval.
Mr. President, this is pursuant to the intergovernmental agreement between the board and Port Authority. We'd request their approval and forwarding to the Port Authority for payment.
All right, I like it.
Okay, I will make a motion to approve the billing for Axis Architecture.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Oops. Item E, rental registration for the properties located at 226 Waltham, 8 units, 4630 Cameron, 5 units, 6616 California, 5546 Walter, 609 169th Street, 6535 Alexander, 1126 Truman.
Okay.
I think the first property up is 226 Waltham. This is an 8-unit property. Is the owner for 226 Waltham here? Are you with the Waltham property? Okay. Yeah. So we have the property listed as an 8-unit. There was a new owner in January 21st of 21, and they owe for 2021 alone. Prior, it was owned by a Drake Apartments since 1991. So it's 1 year, the 8 units. It looks like this is the first time the new owners are registering the property. Just explain like when you guys took over.
2021.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so we just took over in August. Before it was another management company. When we took over, we submitted the paperwork right away for registration. That's when we got notified that it wasn't registered this year.
Okay.
You good? Yeah. Okay, I will make a motion to waive the late fee, and sir, you can register the apartments at the conclusion of today's meeting if you'd like.
Okay.
Okay?
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Yep. and it's moving to California. We just
4630 Cameron, 5 units.
All right, so 4630 Cameron, we have a new owner listed as of 8/21 of 20. And for this property, that owner has been listed, for the past 2 years. So we do have outstanding rental registration fees for 2020 and 2021 for this rental property. Now, these properties are listed under LLCs. I believe this is Vilgar Property Management. They're here representing the property owner as the property manager. So I'm not sure when their management agreement has taken over or taken place, but this is the first time it looks like that they were late. This owner was late for the property. After they took ownership, they didn't register it under their ownership.
This was actually the same thing. We took over in August of this year. Same thing, we registered it right away. That's when we got the kickback saying that it wasn't registered previously to us managing it.
Well, the other one was only for 2021. What happened in 20 for this one, for these?
We just started managing it this August. I don't know
So their
who previous
property, yeah, their
managed.
property management agreement
Oh,
had the
I
date
see.
in which the owner hired them to manage the property. So it was either the owner previously who just didn't register it themselves, or it was a previous property management company that wasn't doing their job. Either way, you know, the owner took over in 2020, there was, the units were occupied, and, you know, they just failed to register the property.
I'm still confused. Who took over in 20? August of 20?
August of 20, that's when the property physically changed hands to a new owner. right?
Correct.
So according,
This
yeah,
gentleman or no? Someone else?
no,
Someone else?
he represents the property management company who's managing these properties.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just entered a management agreement,
Yeah,
and,
but it makes sense, but there's nobody to hold responsible for
No,
missing
there's not.
20, that's what it seems like.
I mean, essentially, it's,
Yeah, right.
no matter what, the property owner is gonna be responsible for their rental registration fees that they owe. I mean, they attempted to register them for 2021 when
Right.
they took over management of the property. That's when they were notified that, the property was not registered prior.
Is there a way we could send something to the past owner seeking those funds?
That's something I was actually gonna ask Kevin too, because there is another
Okay.
situation here where
Okay.
there were two previous owners. One in, the last time a previous property was registered in 2017, and then 18, 19 it missed, and there are two different owners for those 2 years before the new owner took over for 21. So I was hoping we might be able to send the collections if they were occupied and water consumption was there, they had a tenant who, and they were collecting rent, and they owe the city paying rental registration fees.
Okay, so we don't have really anything in writing as to how to proceed with a situation like this, but is this something that we might be able to dial in
Well,
to where we get something back when these people
I think
skip because they
when
don't want to
that's
pay?
That's an ownership situation for
Yeah.
sure. I think we
Okay.
could talk to Kevin about that.
Okay.
As far as this situation goes, the owner,
Keep happening.
yeah, the owner is the same in 2020 as they are today. They just, they hired a better property management company, I guess, who's
Okay.
willing to take care of what they're supposed to take care of.
Okay, so for this time, for 20 and 21, I'm gonna make a motion then to waive them.
All right.
Okay, so I'm gonna make a motion then on 4630 Cameron to waive the late fees for 2020 and 2021. And again, sir, you can register those at the end of today's meeting if you'd like to.
Okay.
All right.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. 6616 California.
This property, it was actually determined was registered for both 2020 and 2021. It looks like there was a entry mistake made on the rental registrations. Therefore, there's, this property is current on the rental registration. The board need not take any action.
No action
No
necessary.
action, okay. Fifty-five forty-six Walter.
Okay, this is the one I was referencing earlier. This property hasn't been registered since 2017. However, the current owner took over ownership in September 15th of 21, and they only owe for 2021. There were two previous owners between the time frame of 2018, 19, and 20. So the property changed hands 3 times in the last, like 4 years.
It's just a single-family home, correct?
Correct, yep. Yeah, single-family home.
$5, man.
Which is this one for?
5546 Walter.
I don't have a sheet for California.
No, there shouldn't be a
action.
sheet, because it was registered.
Okay. I'm gonna need another sheet then for Walter then. Okay, so for Walter is 1 unit for 2021?
Yeah. Yep.
I'm gonna need another sheet. I thought this one was for California.
Right.
I'll get rid of this.
I mean,
Give me $500. I get you. No, don't worry about it. We got our hands full.
Okay.
It is.
So I'll make a motion then for 5546 Walter to waive the late fee for the year of 2021.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. 609, 169th Street.
Mr. William Smith? All right. So we have this property listed under the ownership of Mr. William Smith. The only owner listed, as far as Lake County records are concerned, for the history of the property, owes only for 2021. This is a single-family home, correct? Yep. Okay. It was, the only other action that was taken was when it initially looked like it turned into a rental property. That was back in like 2011, but it was registered every time since, with the only exception being in 2021. Go ahead. What?
And the reason
Oh,
for
I
not
just-
being done
Oh,
this year?
I usually mail everything at the same time, and actually I put it in my mailbox in that time frame. My insurance for my homeowner's insurance was lost, my rental payment. I have all these checks that I always write checks for this stuff. So I was on the phone with all these other companies, but this one I totally forgot about. It was like, I didn't even think about it until I got the collection agency coming after me. I'm like, where did this come from,
Yeah, you're good.
So
Okay.
I had a nervous breakdown,
Don't do that.
Okay,
So-
I'm going to make a motion to waive the late fees for 609 169th Street. Sir, you can register at the end of today's meeting if you.
Where do you register at?
He'll explain it to you.
Okay, cool.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
I hope I put it in my pocket. All right. I have a stockpile of those things.
Nice, there you go.
6535 Alexander Avenue.
All right, Mr. Klinger? Oh, here you go. All right. So we have this property. It was under the ownership of Mr. Klinger since 2002. So the property was owner occupied from 2002 to 2020, when in December, it looks like of 2020, it was registered as a rental property for the first time. And therefore, they just missed the 2021 rental registration for this year, so it just recently turned into rental. However, there is one other thing I think I have attached there, maybe?
You do.
Yep, so the homestead tax exemption is still applied to this property. Seeing that it's going on its second year as a rental, we would request that the owner fill that out and return to us so we can submit that to Lake County, get that adjusted, so that it's appropriately taxed. So if I'll grab that.
Do you understand that part, ma'am?
I do understand that part, but we went to Crown Point when we bought a home in Crown Point.
Sorry.
When we moved to Crown Point to live there, when we moved to Crown Point to live there, we went to the courthouse over there, and we thought that we had switched the homestead. Yeah, they said it was changed over. We said we live in here, we're renting this property, and we did the same thing. When we got the permit, it's the first time renting. So when we got the permit in December, then I came back and they told me I was okay. I had another issue with the house, so I think it must have been a misunderstanding because I was shocked when I received the fine.
No, I mean, that's,
It's-
we understand that, but it's something
Yeah.
that's going to have to,
So, yeah, so
Yeah, correct.
the taxes thing, I went to the courthouse and I have homestead in the Crown Point, so not in this one. I recently had issue with the insurance too. They would,
I think maybe it's because it's under his name, it's still showing up.
Yeah, we're still showing it to Homestead, but it's under David's name, so we need David to sign this
Or
form.
Daniel?
Or, I'm sorry.
the husband?
Okay,
That's
yeah,
why.
since the treasurer has it listed strictly under his name, then they still are applying that homestead tax exemption to the property because it's a rental and
What's the
occupied
date
by
on that,
tenant.
Nick?
I just printed this last night at 11 p.m.
so how do I fix?
So this form needs to be signed by Daniel,
Okay,
and then we can take into consideration the waiver of the,
That mayor's night out.
11
Okay.
PM. Wow.
When did you print it out, Nick?
I'm so lost right now.
Is that during your lunch break or something?
After the request went out.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, good one.
so she's a little confused, so. I
I'm
wanna-
confused. I'm
yeah.
the wife of Daniel
That's
Klinger,
okay.
so.
You can blame Daniel for this, okay?
He's a truck driver, so he can't make it. I always blame him for everything
Good.
anyway.
Add this to the list. So what this is a form that the county will remove the homestead.
Okay.
Because now it's a rental. And
Okay.
so even if it's off already, this will just confirm all that.
Okay,
But because the house is only in Daniel's name,
okay,
that he needs to sign this, not you.
okay,
And so we'll consider, we need to have this. I mean, the board may move to waive your late fee if that's the recommendation, but it'll be conditioned upon us receiving this form back.
okay. Where do I take this form after Daniel signs it?
Third floor up to Linda. She's up there at the law department.
Okay,
So you
okay.
bring it back here to City Hall.
Bring it back, does it has to be him? He's
Has
a
to be
truck
him.
dri-
It doesn't have to be today.
No, but it has to be during the week, Monday to Friday, correct?
He can sign it whenever he's home,
And
and
I
then
could
you
bring
bring
it-
it the
Okay,
third floor.
yeah, he's a truck driver, he's not.
Yeah.
I
Just have him
usually
sign.
don't deal with this either. This
Yeah,
is my
just have him
punishment for
sign it on a
blaming him.
weekend and bring it Monday or Tuesday after he goes back to work, yes.
Okay, awesome, okay.
Okay, then I'm going to make a motion to waive the late fee upon receiving that signed sheet from Daniel, okay?
Okay.
Okay, and you understand everything now, right?
Yep, now I
Okay.
do. Do I gotta go to the Crown Point and take out?
All those in favor?
No, okay,
All you
this
do
was,
is
Aye.
Have him sign that and then bring it back to me.
now I get it.
1126
Thank you,
Truman.
ma'am. You're
Thank
good
you.
to go.
Thank you much.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Thank
stick, stick around though, afterwards
Okay.
in the paperwork. We'll explain it to you.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So plenty.
So we are on 1126
1126 Truman.
Okay. All right. Ms. Reyes? All right. Hello. Okay, so we have the property listed under Ms. Reyes's ownership since January 21st of 2016. She's been on time from 2016 to 2020. Single-family home, only owes for 2021.
Hello, my name is Martha. I honestly been having like a rough year, so I forgot about it. My grandmother passed away, and my parents are ill. I'm sorry I get emotional. But I came and they informed me that I owe $500, and I'm willing to pay them, but they told me that there's a hearing. I could try it and see what happens. It's my first time. I plan on paying forward, and I'm willing to do whatever you guys tell me to do.
So again, she or the family has been the owner since 2016?
No, I've been the owner.
Yeah, she's been the owner.
She's been the owner?
Yeah.
It's been
Been good all the way through?
Registered on time, no issues. Yeah.
Okay.
First time.
Single-family home?
Yes, sir.
Okay. First of all, I'm sorry to hear about your grandmother, and good luck with your parents. I hope that gets better. I'll make a motion to waive the late fee for 2021, and you can register at the end of today's meeting if you'd like to, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye?
Aye.
Okay, thank you.
I just
Thank
want to
you.
remind
Thank you.
this young lady that every year it has to be registered before April 15th. So just
Yes.
remember, starting in January, you can register it. It's only $5. So just make sure you put that on your calendar so that it doesn't fall behind again.
No, I understand.
Okay, anything further, Nick? That's it? Okay. Item 10, old business. Letter A, status, 120-day approval for banner signage on the public way -- Bank Calumet building.
I thought we did this already.
Did we? I thought it was only put up for 120 days.
We did this already, didn't we?
We did?
I thought so, yeah.
Mr.
do
Smith?
About the sign?
Yes.
Yeah.
We did this already, right? Or no?
Well, so it was for a period of time.
Okay.
Right.
It's now getting close to the expiration,
Gotcha.
and they've requested another 120 days.
Oh, okay.
So
Rob,
Mr. Novak has requested that his recommendation is to approve that.
Okay,
Extension.
Extended another 120 days.
okay.
Okay, then I will make a motion to approve the 120-day extension at Bank Calumet building.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye?
Aye.
And then, Mr. President, again, and the reason this came up is because we put it on status, so I'd request a status, 100 and, I guess, 3.5 months down the road.
Just your standard
I
three.
need to get you that app where it says,
February,
put in
March,
100
April.
days, and it
How
comes
about
up.
April 7th, April 14th?
Sure.
Okay, we're going to go with April 7th, is that okay? Okay, I'll make a motion to set this for status for April 7th, 2022.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye?
Aye. Okay, item B, 428 173rd Street.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I believe I met with you guys September, October, don't recall the time. I received a letter from the board with a recommendation on what to do to avoid traffic from going through that alley, through city property and then into the private property. I don't believe that recommendation is going to be feasible. I work from home, so I spent this Tuesday with my hotspot, working with my laptop, just to see what type of traffic actually was going through there. In about an hour, there were 3 cars trying to cut through there. 2 of them, actually, they politely turned away, and I told them, this business is going to be opening soon. We're trying to let the residents know not to cross through here anymore. 3rd car went around me and was rude, just completely went around me. So I actually parked where the Public Works recommended I put rail ties. That was a recommendation from the board. And they went around me to the left. And my concern is that that's what every other vehicle that continues to use that shortcut is going to do. And if they continue to do it when I am hopefully open sometime in 2022, it's going to be a safety concern for my clients. So I'm asking for the board to offer another solution, whether it's allowing me to plant bushes on city property to the west of the rail ties that would grow and prevent cars from going there, potentially maybe vacating that little portion of the alley to the property owner, or consider a vacate of that because it's just a small portion there. So I'm just looking for an alternative solution to prevent vehicles from actually cutting and having that shortcut. And I have the image here. So how's it going?
Good. So my suggestion would be potentially to refer this matter to planning and let Mr. Novak and Mr. Poland talk to Mr. Prado to determine if there's a solution that would be either a variance or some sort of way for us to work within the zoning ordinance to create a
We
solution.
believe he needs to do a little bit more due diligence. We think that's probably where he needs to start. It's just, I know you were asking us initially as a board to
close the alley,
close off some city property, and
or just put some.
I don't think we're going to do that without having any due diligence done from other people that deal with that directly on a daily basis, like Mr. Poland. And so I would sit down with him, talk to him, explain to him your concerns, and see what he comes up with. And maybe that's something that the board can jump on board with at that time and agree with.
Yeah, so if Linda would just send a note to Brian and Tom down at planning to indicate that the board's referred this matter down to them, so when Mr. Prado shows up, they'll know it's coming from the board.
Can I also make a request that the streets and sanitation garbage truck no longer make that left there and take that shortcut, because they're really causing damage to the parking lot because of the weight of the garbage truck.
Oh, so they're using the little road on the west side of the building?
They're making a left on the alley here and then making that cut, and they're damaging the parking lot. So I'm just requesting that they now make a right moving forward because it's.
That's fair.
Sure.
Okay, thank you so much.
And do you have your own, I mean, I know it's not open yet, but you have your own, you're gonna have your own dumpster and everything like that?
Everything,
So you
yeah,
won't
I won't need any garbage.
service
They're gonna
there.
pick, yeah, I'm paying for my own service. Okay, thank you. All right, Kevin, thanks.
All right, thank you, Mr. Prado. Anything further? Well, that was old business. Meeting's open to the public. Anyone here care to speak about something?
Okay, I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I didn't know if we needed to, after